New tonight at 5:30, a one-on-one interview with the father of a Rancho High School student beaten to death by fellow students.
He spoke with Fox 5's Kim Pathoth, who joins us in studio right now to explain.
Yeah, Jonathan Lewis says that his son with the same name died in the hospital days after the brutal attack. He was by his side before he was taken off of life support. His dad says that Jonathan died a hero. He said that he was trying to help a smaller child who was being bullied and attacked by 15 people. He says he also that Jonathan was an artist, kind, loving, caring, and a generous young man who had his whole life ahead of him, and he will be forever loved and cherished every day and every moment. His dad says he's been told by law enforcement arrests are pending, but he says that there needs to be a major change in our society.
Man, what the hell is going on in Las Vegas? Before I go off on this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. You gotta be subscribed, and don't forget to share so we can get it out there. Mind you, this situation is just this. It wasn't long ago that these two sick animals ran over the retired police chief and killed him, and they're laughing in court at the other. I hope they throw the entire encyclopedia at them. Just, it should be a life for life policy with that, but I've covered that in another video previously. But this still in Las Vegas at Rancho High School. I actually live in Las Vegas. 15 savages kill this young man. Jonathan Lewis has his whole life ahead of him, really young kid. Now, supposedly it was something over a nicotine patch, I guess is what they're saying. But then the other story is he was sticking up for some kid that was getting bullied, and these 15 savages completely attacked this young man and beat him to death, ends up dying in the hospital. If anybody's ever seen somebody get knocked out or anything, it doesn't take a lot. They can fall, hit their head on the pavement or on the sidewalk. They could be paralyzed for the rest of their lives, have internal bleeding, any kind of thing like that, or even pass away like this situation. And no arrests were made, right? And then they just had this update.
Just moments ago, Las Vegas police have announced that 8 minors have been arrested in that beating death of Jonathan Lewis. They're still searching for 2 more. They will be found.
So they got 8 of these individuals, and they said that there's about 2 more they're looking for. No, every last one of them needs to be prosecuted, especially the one with the camera. Who just sits there, and the video is just awful to watch. I'm telling you, the video is just terrible to watch. Who will just sit there and record somebody getting beat on, not only by 2 people, 3, 5, 15 people, stomping on his head, punching him, kicking him? There's nothing you can do in that situation. What the hell is going on with this generation of kids where they will sit there, not only do this, but film it, laughing, cracking jokes, running off? It's just a completely sick situation that's being allowed to perpetuate in today's society. And do you guys remember, man, I'm getting heated with this. You guys remember the kid Ralph Y'all, the one that went up to the doorbell and he was shot through the door and all that by the elderly individual? And there's no condoning that. You know, even if he was banging on the door, you can't shoot somebody on the outside of the door. Who knows? He was at the wrong house, whatever. I guess he startled the old guy. Doesn't matter whatsoever. You cannot shoot somebody. And luckily, the young man survived, which is great. By the grace of God, he's still alive. But when that situation happened, Joe put out this statement.
President Biden tweeted he talked with Ralph Yarl and his family, and he says, quote, "No parent should have to worry that their kid will be shot after ringing the wrong doorbell. We've got to keep up the fight against gun violence." He then invited Ralph to the Oval Office when he's feeling better.
So wow, isn't that nice? Is even going to invite him to the White House. Not a peep. Not a word about this situation. And you guys know how it goes, and I'm just going to present it to you. If the roles were reversed, if it was 15 white kids beating a black kid, could you imagine the outrage? As well as there should be outrage. It will be outrage for the wrong reasons, mind you. But could you imagine this kid gets completely mangled and you don't hear nothing about it? This should be absolutely everywhere. The lookout to find all of these individuals should be everywhere. Why isn't the White House coming out and speaking about this and completely condemning this to the highest level imaginable? People are starting to finally wake up. Do you see how they play the race and what we're gonna think is important and what we're not? He put out a tweet. He's talking about the climate and all that. No problem there if he even sends out his own tweets. Well, I'm sure he doesn't. All of that. So we can talk and we can give all kinds of credence and attention to that, but nothing to this. I'm telling you, the change in society that's allowed to go on, and we can get into where the parents are at and all that. And there's a second video I'm going to get into after this video. That video might be my last video once I go off on that, because people are always talking about the parents and where the parents at and all this upbringing, and they try to blame the video games and all. No, these are some sick individuals. Could you imagine what he looked like just laying there on the ground after getting stomped in and all that? You know he can't breathe. You know that he's leaking from every orifice. This is just a sick act, and the reason that it's not out there and not being discussed is a complete travesty.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that?
So we can comment, we can march about George Floyd and Jacob Blake and all these people that put themselves in the situation that they're in. But this kid sticking up for another kid or a nicotine patch, I don't care what the hell it is, to get completely beaten like that, and for a father to have to sit there and watch the kid pass away right there on a hospital bed is just disgusting. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that it's not being discussed, the fact that it's just not everywhere like it should be, because you can use the news, the power of the media, to find each and every one of these individuals involved. They could be doing a good service by putting it out there. Instead, you just don't hear a word about it. But if the roles were reversed, my Lord, people would be all in the streets. We're tipping statues, SUVs, all of this stuff will be ensuing because of it. So y'all let me know if I'm going overboard or if I'm not seeing this situation clearly. And the father gives like an interview. I don't even know how he could speak in front of a camera. This just happens to your son, and somehow you can get it to, some people are just built differently, I guess. I would be completely beside I don't even know what I would do. It's an absolutely disgraceful, tragic, sad situation that's actually just kind of just going by the wayside. And that just goes to show you people are waking up and they're seeing how they give certain stories way more coverage. We're going to talk about this. Other things, if it doesn't quite fit the narrative, then you know.
Everybody wants a blizzard. What the hell is a blizzard? What is a blizzard? And take care of the people, okay? Will you take care of them for me? I will do the blizzard thing, all right?
I mean, for Trump, that is sort of like par for the course. But for any other candidate, that would be like a...
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You got to be subscribed to this great channel. And don't forget to share so we can get it out there. And I will catch you guys on the next one.